Hi guys! So the 1986-87 database has been launched. It's out now everywhere. Go and download it. All the links you need, find them below. Go to my website and find everything that you need. So this 1986-87 database has been such a blast creating, and it gives me the perfect opportunity to try and simulate almost 40 years of football on Football Manager. I can't wait to see how this universe is going to play out. First, I'll give you a quick show around on the 1986 database season 1 obviously, then we'll do some simulations. We are starting out in the era of Diego Maradona, and we'll be simulating forward into the future all the way up till Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi spawn in as regions, and this is obviously only possible due to Mr. Tini's brilliant region mod that works with the 1986-87 database. It goes forward 35 years in time, so almost up to present time from 1986, and those limitations are not from Mr. Tini's limitations. It is the Football Manager pregame editor and the actual game. You can only make a region mod that goes 35 years in time, but that leaves us with a lot of brilliant players who's gonna spawn in with the youth intakes as regions all the way up till present day. I can't wait to see where they'll end up, who'll be winning some Champions League titles, World Cups. We will check it all out. Let's get to it now. We'll fire up the time machine, and with a handful of stops on our way, we will make it from 1986 up till present day. So here we are at the start of the 1986-87 database. Sadly, as most of you guys know already, it's not possible to edit the in-game date, so we gotta use our imagination just a little bit. Instead of 2023, it is supposed to say 1986. So now that's out of the way, let me show you. I have loaded up all the playable leagues that's available at day 1 at the release of this database. We got all these different nations. We got the top 2 divisions in England and Italy, and top divisions in all the other leagues. And obviously, as I've already spoken on, this is the era of Diego Maradona. He has just won the World Cup 1986 with his country, Argentina, and in real life, he also won the Scudetto, the Italian league title, with his team Napoli. Now, this was mostly because of one player. Diego, on his own almost, won this Scudetto. Absolutely marvelous, because the rest of his team is mediocre at best. There is a couple of players in between that will help him out, obviously. Ciro Ferrara, at the age of 19 years old, wonder kid. He's a perfect piece to the puzzle. You also have a quite young Fernando Di Napoli. He was an Italian international. And you have Salvatore Bagni, solid Italian midfielder. But besides that, Diego Maradona didn't have much more teammates to trust on. So, Napoli winning the first season on this database, very, very low odds for that to happen. I would say out of 100 simulations, Napoli will win the first season maximum 5 times or out of those 100. So let's see what happens in this universe. And the reason why they won't win the Italian Serie A, which by the way only had 16 teams back in 1986, that blew my mind. In the golden era of the 90s, there was always 18 teams in the Italian Serie A. Nowadays there's 20. Back then, 16 teams, and one of them even with a point deduction. Bad for Udinese. But Juventus are definitely one of the reasons why it's going to be very, very difficult for Diego Maradona to win this title in the first season. Incredible, strong defense with one of the biggest Italian defensive legends of all time, Gaetano Schirea, and Antonio Cabrini. He is an absolute monster on this database. In his prime age, covers the left fullback, wing back, left mid. He is absolutely incredible on this database. Other players to look out for on this Juventus team. One of the best players in the world at the time. It is the corrupt UEFA president, Michel Platini, who back in his days as a player was a world-class athlete. And Michael Laudrup at the age of 22 years old. And as you'll see, back then, most teams in Italy had 2 foreign players, and that was it. And the 2 foreign players for Juventus A Frenchman and a Dane who's going to make a huge difference. And a strong striker up front, Aldo Serena, played for Milano, played for Inter later down the line. Other teams who could possibly be contenders to win the Scudetto in Italy is definitely Inter. Inter with Walter Zinga, one of my favorite goalkeepers of all time, 26 years old. We got Riccardo Ferri, club legend Giuseppe Bergomi. We got Marco Tardelli. Anyone remember him scoring the goal at the Euros for Italy? A very deciding goal, obviously. Daniel Passarella, Baresi's brother, Franco's brother, obviously. We have Pietro Fanna. He won the Scudetto with Verona in '84. And here comes one of the foreign players, one of the best players in the world at the time, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. Let me just tell you, let me just give you a disclaimer. The German national team, 1986, and in the coming seasons, scary stuff. It's the strongest national team I've seen for a while. Absolute world beaters in this German national team, and they'll only become stronger over the years. And just take a look at their manager, obviously, Franz Beckenbauer. Alessandro Altobelli, one of the best goal scorers of Italian football, 30 years old, still going strong, still scoring a lot of goals. Inter is definitely in contention to win the Scudetto. AC Milan was at a special place at this point of time. They were building the team. If we take a look at the competitions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons ago, they were playing in the Serie B, AC Milan. So they're trying to establish themselves the top of the league in Italy, and they were on the way to do so. Giovanni Galli, strong goalkeeper, and here comes the defensive line. Mauro Tassotti, Filippo Galli, Franco Baresi, Costa Curta, and an 18-year-old Paolo Maldini. I mean, all these players were still in the Milan team on the 94-95 database. Many of them still on the 98 database. Some of them still on the 2001 database I've made. It's absolutely bonkers. But I mean, Baresi, one of the best defenders in the world, and Paolo Maldini at the age of 18 years old. Can't wait to see how his career shapes out. This 18-year-old wonder kid. Is he going to stay a one-club player? We know that is very difficult on modern football manager games, but is it possible on this simulation? So Ray Wilkins and Mark Hateley is the two foreign players at Milan. Other mentionable players like Ivani, Donatoni, 22 years old, Daniele Massaro, club legend as well. Decent Milan side who is probably going to challenge for the title as well. In the first season, Roma had a hell of a team. We can't neglect Roma. With Roberto Pruzzo, he became the top goal scorer in the Serie A 1985. Club legend Bruno Conti, club legend Giuseppe Giannini, one of my all-time favorites. Giannini was a baller. And where is the Polish legend Zbigniew Boniek? Incredible player they have available there at Roma. Really strong side also, and one of the most interesting teams in Italy in my liking is Sampdoria. Gianluca Pagliuca in goal, very young obviously. Pietro Virkowood, Moreno Manini, both won the Scudetto in real life a little later on with Sampdoria. Hans-Peter Briegel and Toninho Cerezo is the two foreign players, and these two, Roberto Mancini, Gianluca Vialli, 21 years old each. Build this Sampdoria team, please. I gotta check out one player at Fiorentina. They have a decent team, but they got this one. It is Robbie Baggio, Roberto. At the start of his career, going to be very interesting to see where he ends up in this simulation. And is it possible any other team in the world to lurk Diego away from Napoli? Is he going to stay at the club for the rest of the simulation until he retires? It's questions like that we need to go and find out. If we head over to England, the first division, as it was called back then, were dominated by Liverpool mainly. But Everton were in the mix. The Merseyside teams were dominating in England as Everton won the 86-87 season in real life with this remarkable team with Neville Southern in goal, Rick Mountfield, who won the title with Everton a couple of years ago as well. Peter Reid is there. You got Trevor Steven, who just returned from the World Cup 86 with England. Kevin Sheedy was a great Irish player. Graham Sharp, was the top goal scorer. That is the title-winning team from Everton and obviously Liverpool with their player-manager, Kenny Dalglish. Manager and player, and he did both. He did win the title last season in '85 as a player-manager. Absolutely incredible. But lots of legends, obviously, in this Liverpool side, so they are going to battle it out for the title in England, no doubt about it. Man United without Alex Ferguson. Because Alex, he is the manager over at Aberdeen. Obviously a great one in the making. But will he ever make it to Man United, who do have a decent side, obviously? Kevin Moran was a great defender. We got a couple of Danes in here in the United side. We got Paul McGrath, excellent player. We got Brian Robson, team captain, 29 years old, England international as well. Gordon Strachan was a good player. Yeah, Man United is probably going to be in the mix as well. We got 22 teams in the English First Division. Quick look at Spain before we do the first simulations. So Real Madrid and Barca have won the last 2 seasons, but Athletic Bilbao, that's the last championship. Still to this day, they won 2 in a row, back-to-back, 82 and 83. El Sociedad before that won 2 in a row. Incredible stuff. But it is Real Madrid and Barcelona, also in contention to win the Champions League title. Now I've said Champions League, actually. Obviously, back then it was called the Euro Cup. So please mind me if I misspoke, if I misspeak and call the English First Division for Premier League and the Euro Cup for the Champions League. I'm going to mess it up several times, obviously. Emilio Butragueño, Hugo Sanchez, those 2 strikers in the same team, absolutely ridiculous. And Barcelona with their own firepower of Steve Archibald, Gary Lineker, Mark Hughes. Will Gary Lineker stay as a Barca player for the rest of his career on this simulation? We need to find out. We need to find out. Zubizarreta, first season for him. So we are going to keep an eye out for some of these younger players and their journey in this simulation. Obviously, Tony Adams, 19 years old, up at Arsenal. And Ajax, yes. Ajax got some ballers. Marco van Basten. Who is going to get the hands of Marco van Basten in this simulation? Which team is going to buy him? Or is he going to stay at Ajax? Who knows? Dennis Bergkamp, at the start of his career, 17 years old. This is a wonder kid in the making. The Ajax team, stacked as always, aren't they? The PSV team, really strong as well. Gotta mention that in PSV. They got Ruud Gullit. They got Ronald Koeman. Incredible Dutch sides back in this town. We got Jürgen Klinsmann, 21 years old, still at Stuttgart. Ruben Sosa was a baller. We got Branco at Brescia. So many younger players. Olaf Thon. Olaf Thon was a fantastic player. How about this one? A 20-year-old Frenchman called Eric Cantona. Is he going to end up becoming a Man United player or something completely else? Is Alex Ferguson going to become Man United manager? Is Arsene Wenger going to become an Arsenal manager, because he is a young manager at this point at Nancy in France? Lots of things to keep our eyes out for when we do the simulations. One of my favorites from the time before he joined Liverpool, Johnny Barnes. Get in, John. Absolutely incredible player, and one reason for me to want to start a save with Watford in this database. So the plan is that we're going to simulate 2 seasons in now and see how the teams are looking 2 seasons in, who's won the first couple of Euro Cups, who's won the different domestic leagues and stuff. And after that, we're going to do some longer simulations into the future. So strap in, hang on. Let's simulate the first 2 seasons and see what happens on this database. The time machine is working quite fast. That was the first 2 seasons we have now simulated, and there's been 1 Ballon d'Or crown since we started this save. Michel, the Spanish legend from Real Madrid, 25 years old, won the first Ballon d'Or in our simulation, followed by Lothar Matthäus from Bayern München and Emilio Butragueño, also from Real Madrid. Could look like the Spanish Giants has done well in the first 2 seasons. Let's check it out. here we have it. So Barcelona actually won the first 2 seasons in Spain, and not at all Real Madrid. We see here there's 4 points between them in this second season. While if we check out the first season on the save, Barcelona won by 8 points. So it is already a race between those two sides. And Real Madrid, as we saw, they got the Ballon d'Or winner. Have they made any signings as well? Let's take a look at it. The transfer history. Diego Simeone on a free has joined from Vélez in Argentina. Jan Mulby joining from Milan. So he's already been transferred a couple of times. And in the first season, look at this. Look at this. After the first season, Real Madrid picked up Ruud Gullit on a freaking free. Bargain. Bargain from out of this world. What a pickup that is. But good job by Real Madrid, obviously. But better job done by Barcelona. Who did they bring in the first season? Any notable? Yeah, Enzo Schiffer. Loved Enzo Schiffer. How much did they pay? 13.25 for the young Belgian legend in the making. Eusebio, who joined Barcelona in real life as well. That's quite interesting. Oh, we gotta check out the latest. Oh, they got Paulo Futre and Rinat Dasaev. This makes a lot of sense why Barca have won the first 2 seasons. One of the best goalkeepers in the world at this point of time. World-class goalkeeper Rinat Dasaev was bought in, and Paulo Futre from Porto also left on a free. Barcelona have done their job scouting-wise. Absolutely remarkable stuff. Let's head over to some of the other leagues. In England, the first division have been won twice by Everton. Just like in real life, they won 86-87. In this universe, they managed to defend their title. Man United coming in second, tied with Arsenal. We have Liverpool all the way down at 6th. In the second season on this sim. First season, Everton were quite dominating. Got 100 points. 10 points ahead of Liverpool. So Everton, done any interesting signings? Laurent Blanc, what a pickup that is. That's their latest addition, 22 years old, coming in from Inter. That's not where he starts, so he's already been transferred a couple of times, I see. Thomas Berthold is a strong signing for Everton. Nigel Winterburn, great pickup from Wimbledon. Jorge Burruchaga, World Cup winner, 1986 with Argentina. I like the pickups from Everton. First season, another World Cup winner, Oscar Ruggeri. Yannick Stopira from France. Ian Wright from Crystal Palace in the second division. Rob Lee from Charlton. Bruno Mazzini in goal. To back up Neville Southall, apparently. That is a hell of an Everton team, isn't it? Wow! So, Gem on this database starts out at Crystal Palace in the second division, picked up by Everton in the very first season for 12.5. Whoa, immediate impact. Also been capped by England, as we see. How about Italy? Did Diego Maradona manage to do the impossible? Not at all. Juventus been dominating, making it 3 in a row, winning the first 2 seasons on this simulation. Second season, 8 points ahead of Inter, followed by Sampdoria, Milan, Roma, Napoli in 6th. First season, Napoli came in 4th. Juve ahead of, tied with Inter. That was a race and a half in the first season in Italy. We got to take a look at some of those transfers. Could be some interesting ones here. Robert Prosineski, Pierre Littbarski, Sola, absolute gem, 200k, Rudi Völler, Jürgen Kohler. All right, get out of here. The Juventus team is already becoming ridiculously good. Holy shit. Excuse my language. They're picking up everyone, Juventus. Jürgen Kohler, one of the best defenders. Sammer as well. Heinz Hermann, Swiss legend. Platini, Laudrup, Tone, Stojkovic, damn, Dragan from Red Star Belgrade. Sola, as I mentioned, Stoichkov, Hadley, Rudi Völler. All right, who's going to stop that Juventus team? That is ridiculously good. Inter, done an interesting business. Oh, yes, Carreca. one of the best strikers in the world back then. Peter Beardsley, Katanec, Reuter, Aldair. No surprise that the Italian league were the best at this point of time. So they bought Laurent Blanc and sold him a year later. Interesting stuff. Frank Rijkaard bought in from Ajax. The Italian teams looks really, really good. It's the second season Klinsmann joined Bayern. Cantona joined Liverpool. He's a Liverpool player. Oh, and he's doing fantastic. Okay, we gotta go and check out who has won the Euro Cup in the first 2 seasons. Real Madrid won the first season. Juventus just won the second season. So let's take a look at some of the younger players. Where did Marco van Basten go, actually? Is he still at Ajax? He's at Bayern München. Bayern is going to become a powerhouse, aren't they? They are going to become an absolute powerhouse. With Klinsmann and Marco van Basten. Where is Matthäus? They have Matthäus and Bremer. Ridiculously good Bayern team. They managed to bring in Van Basten. Tone went for Juventus. Pauluca still at Sampdoria. We did see Paulo Futre at Barca. Aldair. Inter picked up Aldair. What a defender he is. Paolo Maldini still at Milan. Romario joined Roma for 12.5 mil from Vasco da Gama. Goal machine that he is. Excellent pickup by Roma. Could they win something in the future? Roberto Baggio still at Fiorentina. There's him from Roma, actually. Claudio Caniggia at Milan with Müller. Tony Adams still at Arsenal. Balakov picked up by Arsenal. Aaron Winter still at Ajax. Bergkamp still at Ajax. How does he look 2 seasons in? Yes. Wonder kid. We just seen him as a 17-year-old at the beginning of this database. Look at his progress. Oh my god, he's going to become such a world beater, isn't he? Bodo Illner is a proper goalkeeper. Didier Deschamps. So many young players to keep an eye out. Arsenal done anything interesting? David O'Leary is still there. Viv Anderson with the young Tony Adams. Giga Popescu. Proper pickup that is. Paul Ince starts out at West Ham on this database. Young Merson, Rocastle. John Barnes, who starts out at Watford. He's become an Arsenal player instead of a Liverpool player. I'm sorry to all the Liverpool supporters. Stuff like this tends to happen on a database like this. We usually are going to see some things that did happen in real life replicated on these simulations, but also we are going to see some crazy stuff. Just like that John Barnes thing. Arsene Wenger still at Nancy. Alex Ferguson still at Aberdeen. Has he won anything up there in Scotland in the first 2 seasons? Nope. Celtic are dominating. Just take a quick look. Aberdeen came in second. Rangers, Dundee United in the mix. Celtic won the first season, as we saw, very dominating. A big gap between them and Rangers. But Alex Ferguson is trying to build something up there at Aberdeen. He's not coming to United yet. Is he going to come to Man United? It is time to fire up the time machine once again. This time we will be simulating 6 years ahead, so we'll land up in the mid-90s. Actually, in the 94-95 season is the next point we're going to sim up to, the golden era of football. I cannot wait to see how this database is going to look like 8 years in, when we go up to the mid-90s. Let's do this! Let's fire up the time machine and simulate ahead. 6 years. Alright, 6 more seasons simulated. That's 8 in total from the 1986-87 season. Let's take a look at those Ballon d'Or winners. We saw Michel won the first one. Michael Laudrup. As we did see Juventus have an incredible team early on this database. Dragan Stojkovic. Fantastic player he is. Gary Lineker won a Ballon d'Or, followed by 2 more by Michel from Real Madrid. And look at 8 seasons in, Alan Shearer won the Ballon d'Or. Is he still a Southampton player? I cannot believe he's still a Southampton player. We will check it out in a moment. Michel came in second. He's a world beater at this point of time. He's been since day one. And look at the third one. Gabriel Batistuta, Batigol. And look who he's playing for. It's amazing. 8 seasons in, he's coming into his own rights. Batistuta. What a pick up by Everton that is. Hey, they got him early. For 9 mil, they got him early, and he's been a machine since he arrived. Batistuta. You're welcome, Everton supporters. There you freaking go. He landed up at your team. Where is Alan? He is at Everton as well. He stayed at Southampton for a long time. Made his way through the youth team. He's only like 15, 16 years old when you start this database, but very loyal. Very loyal. He's become a Southampton legend in this universe. And then the big boys wouldn't have it any longer. Everton picked him up for 57 mil and 30 goals and 36 appearances. Made Alan Shearer the Ballon d'Or winner. 8 seasons in. Look at his goal tally for the English national team as well. Mamma mia. All right, 8 seasons in. Where do we begin? I think we'll head over to the European Cup. All right. Juventus won the first 2. Everton got 1. Barca 2 by Everton and Bayern. Everton is a hell of a team, aren't they? And I gotta check out Everton. How have they been doing in the first division? They have won everything since they won, besides 1 season. That wasn't even Liverpool. That was Man United 3 seasons ago. But talk about a dominating Everton team. Yeah, 8 seasons in. And this Everton side. Neville Southall still around with Taffarel as a backup goalie. Thomas Berthold, Laurent Blanc, Thomas Helmer. Wow. Albert Ferrer. Now we're going to see some of the regions as well, obviously. Adrian Elia, Trevor Stephen, very loyal, stayed around. Roy Keane, region. Roy Keane, region. Obviously spawns in at Nottingham Forest, but Everton again, snatching him away. World-class midfielder, incredible. Mario Chardel, Shearer, Ian Wright, and Gabriel Batistuta. Damn, Everton is dominating, not only in England, but also coming through at the European Cup. Incredible stuff. All right, who's challenging Everton at all? Arsenal with 100 points. This is season 7, right? Or season 8. Look at that. 2 teams with more than 100 points, but Everton is untouchable. Absolutely untouchable. Liverpool has been quite disappointing in this simulation. They have a really good team in the first season. Don't reckon Kenny Dalglish is still around. Huh? He was a player manager in the first season. Now he's gone. Where is Dalglish by now? Unemployed. They do got a couple of good Brazilians. They got David Platt, Alemão, great player he is. A lot of regions. Roberto Acuna, Steve McManaman. Obviously came in through the youth intakes at Liverpool. Enzo Francesco, Gianfranco Sola, Robbie Fowler, 19 years old. This is his first season playing for Liverpool. And Ian Rush. Must be a huge legend, right? Done great. Not fantastic in the latest seasons. So Liverpool are trailing a little bit behind. Not a little bit, very much behind. Everton, who's dominating freaking everything. How is the United team looking by now? And is the manager Alex Ferguson? Not at all. Big Ron is still around at Man United. Where is Alex? Still at Aberdeen? No, he's unemployed. Unemployed Alex Ferguson. Arsene Wenger. Manager Toulouse. All right, Man United. Have you been building a team here? Michael Consul is a strong goalkeeper. Des Walker. Ricardo Gomez, Fernando Hierro. They got a good defense. Manuel Amaro, Robson. Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at the captain leading the way. Legendary midfielder. Sergio Batista, World Cup winner. Bjarne Goldbeck. Hey, Dane. Guy Goodcheer. Barca legend in real life. Brian Laudrup. Brian Laudrup been at Man United for a long time. Good to see, Brian. Where is your brother? Starts out at Juventus, obviously. Still at Juventus. Wow, he's had a couple of great seasons. I reckon they've moved him to play more like a midfielder with his age now. But damn, he's been fantastic. Jesper Olsen is still Ryan Giggs. All right, the class of 92, obviously. Coming with the youth intakes. Regen mod made by Mr. Tini. We're going to take a look at some of those class of 92 players. Tony Yeboah, Julio Salinas, and Tony Polster. It's not a bad striker. Striker options. But where are they? Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, Phil Neville, David Beckham. They are all there because of Mr. Tini's regen mod. He did win out on loan at Preston North and in real life Cambridge United. In this universe, he don't look like much. He needs to get some playing time for the first team, obviously. So how about Spain? Barcelona won the first 2 seasons. Now 5 seasons later into our simulation, dominance have changed. They won the first 2, then Real got 1, Barca won again, and the last 4 seasons won by Real Madrid. They probably have a hell of a team over here, don't they? One of the best goalkeepers in the world, even at that age, 35. Michel Prudhomme. Canizares, one of the early regions. Nadal, Barca legend, is playing for Real. David O'Leary, Sanchez, Chendo, Jan Heinze, Ruud Gullit. How have we been doing, Gullit, as a Real Madrid legend? Pretty solid, and such a legend for the Netherlands as well. We are going to take a look at who has won the Euros and World Cups, which nations have been dominating. Rule Fox, look at this. Rule Fox at Real Madrid. Michel, obviously, one of the best in the world. David Ginola. Roberto Baggio. There we go. That must have been a big one. 77 mil from Fiorentina. Real Madrid paid up for Robbie Baggio. Elite forward. There we go. What an addition. Butragueño is still around. Awesome stuff. Where is Maradona? Where is he? 8 seasons in. How is his career paid out? He's 33. He stayed at Napoli. Have they won anything? Because he's been incredible. He's been absolutely incredible. Look at his international career as well. Napoli, how have we been doing in Italy? Won absolutely nothing. Inter is the dominating side. They have taken over from Juventus to dominate in Italy. Interesting career path for Diego Maradona, who stayed at Napoli, not won anything. Playing alongside Rudi Völler. 34 years old though. People in Sachi is there. Yeah, there'll be a lot of interesting teams around at this point of time. So yes, let's check out the European Championship. Must have been a couple since we checked last time. Germany won the first and Italy won. So Germany, that's 1988. So 1992, where Denmark won in real life, were won by Italy in this universe. How about the World Cup? Who do we have for us? So 86 were Argentina, obviously. 1990, England did the impossible and won the World Cup in 1990 in this universe. And Brazil, who won the World Cup 1994 in real life, did the same on this database. You know I love to see stuff like that. Rai is at Barcelona. Rivaldo as a regen at Barcelona. Gotta check out that team suddenly. Bergkamp, Lineker, Schifo. What a Barcelona team. Koeman has made his way to Barca just like in real life. From PSV Eindhoven. That's awesome. Matthias Sammer, Angloma. That's a... Oh, damn. Top goalies, but this Brazilian national team just won the world. Oh, look at Cafu. He's one of the early regions. Season 1 or 2, he'll spawn in if you have the regen mod. Absolutely incredible. This team. Look at this team. Mamma mia. A quick look around some of the other leagues. France. Since we started simulating, Bordeaux won twice. Lens, Marseille, Matra Racing, Bordeaux, and twice Paris. It's been a mixed bag in France. I like that. And Matra Racing is an incredible save on this database. Let me tell you that much. Check out my release stream video on YouTube. I explain much more about this team. Scotland. It's been Celtic all the freaking way up until the last season, where Rangers changed things around. In the 90s, Rangers were dominating Scotland. Maybe it's beginning now in this universe as well. Ali McCoist, how well have we been doing? Yeah, how many goals are we talking about here, Ali? Very realistic, actually. He did almost average 20 goals per season in real life. as a Rangers player. Steve Staunton. Terry Butcher, he stayed there since the first season. Becoming a proper Rangers legend. 35 years old, as Chris Woods also stayed around. Celtic coming in third. Roy Aitken, Daniele Fortunato, Jesper Blomqvist. We are going to see many more regions in these teams now, and I like it. Germany, it's been Bayern. Stuttgart got one, but Bayern, as we saw in the last simulation, what a team they are building. David Seaman, imagine. Mateus, yeah, he stays where he is. Winter, Stoichkov, Lakatus, and Davos Suker. I forgot about Davos Suker on this database. PSG found him quite early. Fantastic for them before joining Bayern. One of the best teams in the world. What a pickup that is. Stoichkov. Send him out on loan. That's a weird one. Did fantastic at Benfica. Talking about Portugal, actually. In real life, Porto won the Champions League, the Euro Cup in 1986-87. And it seems like they won... The first season were won by Benfica. Then Porto started to win a couple of titles. Benfica won the last 3. Netherlands. PSV Eindhoven, 3 in a row. Ajax have won 2 within the last 8 seasons, but PSV is dominating. So why not check out the UEFA Cup winners as well? 8 seasons in. Man United, Zaragoza, Werder Bremen, Sampdoria, Hamburg, Roma, Leverkusen, Frankfurt. Mixed bag, but mostly German teams have been winning this competition. In the Cup Winners' Cup, it was Bilbao. No, it was Lens in the first season, then Bilbao. Sevilla, Bilbao. Queen's Park Rangers got one. Fiorentina, Hamburg, and Nantes. Really mixed. That's awesome to see. So most expensive players in the world, 8 seasons in. It is obvious that Italy is still the most reputable league in the world, as the first 5 players is from Italian teams. Fernando Redondo is playing for Barca. Oh, I loved Fernando. Ooh. Starts out at Argentina Juniors on this database. Nottingham Forest had a couple of great seasons with Fernando before he joined Barcelona. Bebeto, Roma player. Giorgio Hagi, AC Milan. He's been there for a long time, Giorgio. 29 years old now, 8 seasons in. Looks remarkable. Barty at Everton. That's where we started. That's where we began. Absolutely bunker stuff, this. Before we do some more simulation, let's take a look at the regions. Who has come in via youth intakes since the first season with Mr. Tini's regen mod. We got Ryan Giggs, obviously, as the most expensive at this point in time. We got Martin Palermo, Patrick Berger, Fabio Cannavaro, 20 years old, one of the most recent regens. Matias Almeida, Pipo Inzaghi. We saw Javier Zanetti joining AC Milan instead of Inter. Ouch. Carnage. Diego Hamann, Dietmar Hamann, that is. Look at this. Mario Chardel, Christian Vieri. You get all these regions with the regen mod, and there is so many familiar faces, so many familiar names, isn't there? Yeah, this list is long and good. And it's going to be even more interesting to take a look at the regen list after the next simulation, which we're going to do right now. Now we fire up the time machine once again. This time we jump in 10 seasons. We leave the mid-90s, go up to the mid-2000s to look who's dominating the world. Let's go, time machine! And just like that, we have traveled 10 years into the future from 1994. Now we're here in 2004. How have the world developed while we've been in the time machine? I cannot wait to have a look around. We get a little bit of news here as we see Napoli in with an offer for a regen player called William Gallas. But I'm quite sure that there's still original players around, although we are now 18 years in total, simulated in from 1986. There must be some original players around. I'm sure I did see one actually on my way over here. I did see David Platt, who's 38 years old. He's available on a free at the moment, still described as a world-class midfielder, and he does look awesome. Now, where have you spent the most of your career, David? Well, at Liverpool. He have been a huge Liverpool legend, season after season. Holy smokes. He starts out at Crewe Alexandra on this database. Coventry picked him up early, and then Liverpool, where he's been since. Where should we start? Why not start in Italy? Serie A, the last 10 seasons. Let's go back here. When Inter were dominating in the 80s, then in the 90s, AC Milan, triple winner Juventus, Roma and Juventus, Inter, and finally Napoli. Won some stuff after Maradona he left, I'm sure. Diego Maradona, he's retired. Finished his career at Udinese. 2 appearances with 2 goals. Besides that, it was all out Napoli in the entire simulation. Retired like 7-8 years ago. And now he happily can see Napoli win back-to-back championships in Italy. Very interesting. Roma won last year. Let's take a look at that Roma side. Anyone familiar? Oh yes, a lot of regions. Ivan Pelissoli, Mario Yepes, Paulo Montero. He's one of the first regions on the database. Juan is there. Is that Rob Jones? Is that the Rob Jones I think about? Emra. Hernan Crespo. Wingback. What have you done to my Hernan? You never play Hernan Crespo as a wingback. Look at that striker. Look at his attributes. He starts out at River Plate, obviously. But after he joined Roma, he really turned into a world beater. Gaisca Mendieta. Robbie Savage, of all players. Mark Overmars. It's an entire region squad, this one. Napoli. How do we look, Napoli? Anyone familiar here? There's one original player, Eusebio Di Francesco. Who else? El Hadji Diouf, Nico Kranjčar, Gennaro Gattuso, region, 26 years old. Never played for Milan in this universe. Raheem Lasser, he's an original, 35 years old. Moved from Chelsea to Arsenal, where he stayed for more than 10 seasons before leaving on a free for Napoli. Raheem Lasser. Playing 138 caps for England. Mamma mia. Diego Lugano, Gianluca Festa, Ciro Ferrara. He's been around since day one. One club player. We love to see stuff like this. It's the Napolitano Paolo Maldini. Look at his career. Ciro Ferrara, 152 caps. He's 37 years old. Still looks freaking elite. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Christian Panucci. 31 years old. Where's Juventus, who were dominating early on this database? Alessandro Nesta, 28 years old. Sol Campbell. Vidic. Marcel Desailly, 35. How has his career looked like? He stayed with Juventus since he joined from Nantes in the, 3rd season? 5th season? 4th season or something like that. What a team. Robert Gianni. Paul Scholes. There he is. Class of 92. Left for Spurs. And then Juventus for 180 mil. Now we're coming into modern standards. Holy smokes. World-class midfielder Luis Figo. 31 years old. Sporting and Juventus. Incredible, incredible. Now who's this? It's Brian. Been with Juventus for a long time. He was at Man United last time we dropped by in this simulation. Brian Laudrup, Danish legend. His big brother must be retired. Yeah, 37 he is now. Finished at Roma. Decent numbers at that age. Martin Jürgensen, 28. And Jan Koller. All right, we can't spend this much time on each team, but it's incredible. Absolutely incredible to see all these freaking regions. Aldair, 38, he's no region. He's an Inter legend on this database. Save. Holy shit. Giga Popescu. Didier Deschamps, 35. Been with Inter for years. Jalminia. Dennis Bergkamp, 35 years old. How has his career looked like, this legendary forward? He moved to Barca from Ajax, where he smashed it out of the ballpark. 188 mil, joining Inter. Incredible. Femi Martins, AC Milan, last team in Italy we'll check up on. Before we move on to England, Bolocini, he played for Milan in real life. Rio Ferdinand is 25 years old, never played for Man United. Thomas Rosicky, Jesper Grønkjær, another Dane. Thierry Henry, there is a region and a half. And Shevchenko, who did become a Milan legend in real life. Thierry Henry, 75 caps for France, 56 goals to go with it. Look at this, he stayed with Monaco for a while, but he has been on fire at AC Milan, 26 years old at this point of time, playing alongside Shevchenko. There we go. Moved to Everton, obviously. Everton were dominating the world last time we checked around. But finally he made it where he belongs, AC Milan. All right, England it is. As I said, Everton were dominating everything. Dog is leaving. He can't handle it. Alrighty then. Everton on a run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in a row. 7 years in a row Everton were dominating before Man United got into the mix again. But 2 teams have won it in England. This Everton team looked incredible last time we were checking. Rafael Marquez, the Mexican. Christian Wurns, Massimo Otto, Bronkhorst. Roy Keane. Where was he last time he was at Everton? Just joined them. What a career he's had. Roy Keane, incredible career. Last season he was fantastic. 32 years old now. Imagine that. Everton legend. Come on. And Alan Shearer is still here. He's been with Everton for the most part of this simulation. But first, 165 caps for England with 120 goals. I reckon he has won more Ballon d'Ors than the one we saw earlier. But look at his goal tally. Shit, Alan. 599 appearances in his career. Can you see this? You can't see this. It's behind my face. Can I show you this? There you got it. Oh, no. All right, you have to trust me. It says overall 599 appearances in his career, 389 goals in total. Alan Shearer. What a legend he is for Everton. Weird, but crazy. Man United. How about we need, again, Alex Ferguson. Did he ever get a job? Manager at Benfica. Milestones. All right, Benfica for a long time. Instead of becoming a Man United legend, he became a Benfica legend. All right, he's been around, has he? Ajax. Frankfurt. Chelsea. Oh, Aberdeen to Chelsea. Oh my God, Alex Ferguson. Different career. That in real life, you must say so. Just imagine Arsene Wenger at Inter. Been there for a while. Before Benfica. So Wenger and Alex Ferguson been at Benfica, both of them. Atletico de Madrid, Toulouse. That's Arsene Wenger's career. All right, anyone familiar? A lot of familiar players. Look at this. Tim Howard, Fabian Barthez, Gary Neville. Come on, has he been there for the whole ride? He has. Kudos, Gary Neville. Love our loyal players. Nicolas Bordiso, John O'Shea, Kieran Richardson, Diego Fuser, David Beckham. Didn't look like much last time we checked him. Didn't become the player we know him. He did get capped for England. Vladimir Jugovic. That's an original. And one of the great originals in this database. Moved to Arsenal in the Prem, from Red Star, then Bordeaux, then Man United. He's a hell of a player, Jugovic. Happy to see him around still. Oh my God, Zinedine Zidane region. What the devil? Spawns in at Cannes. Moved to Eintracht Frankfurt before Man United. Before he came on to United's radar. Legendary midfielder he is. Incredible. Johan Miku, Christian Vieri, Henrik Larsson. 32 years old. That is a little bit strange career for him. But nonetheless, he looks fantastic, doesn't he? How about Liverpool? They never won anything. In other simulations, Liverpool are dominating the world instead of Everton. They won absolutely nothing in England, at least. Cafu is there. Mamma mia. Eric Apidal. Mark van Bommel, McManaman have stayed around for the entire career. Nicola Anelka. Michael Owen. Alright. Second division. Oh, that was Newcastle. I thought Liverpool were getting relegated last season. That would have been bonkers. Marcelo Salas. Right, there we go. That's Liverpool not winning anything. Let's just look through some of these seasons. Everton, United, Liverpool, Southampton, Arsenal. Bolton made it to the Prem. They started in the, third division, I think, on this database. And yeah, there's probably a lot of things I'm missing out on. Please let me know in the comments, guys, what I've missed out on, what I should have taken a look at while doing this simulation. I probably forgot to look at stuff. Everton, absolutely incredible. That's the story. That is definitely the story. When we go back the last 5-10 seasons, there is the United win. Aston Villa came in second. Oh, I just wanted to check a couple of personal favorites of mine. Cantona. Nope, Cantona. Yeah, he is retired, obviously. He was at Liverpool last time, or was he at... He must have been at Juventus already. What a career he had at Juventus. La Vecchia Signora. Legendaros Cantona. Incredible stuff. How about Paul Gascoigne? Must be retired as well, right? Yeah, he is retired. Started out at Newcastle. Went to Juventus for a short while. Tottenham. Gladbach. And Everton, obviously. Everyone comes to Everton. 213 appearances with 28 goals. How many caps for the national team? 88. Too bad, Gaza. Now, let's check out the Spanish league quickly. Has it been Barca and Real all the way? Yes, it has. Mostly Barca. Wow. Real won 4 in a row last time we checked. Barca have been dominating since. Although Real Madrid just won it in the most recent season. Oliver Kahn. 5 years old, still world class, isn't he? Moved to PSG, then to Aston Villa, then to Barca. Oliver Kahn. Reina is there. So we in 2004, Patrick Vieira is 28. Kahn to City. Then Barca. Juan Sebastian Veron. Redondo. The names. David Villa. And the title winners of the most recent season. Edwin van der Sar over at Real Madrid. There is William Gallas. Paolo Maldini. Oh Lord, 36 years old. He left AC Milan. Now when did he leave them? 197 caps for Italy. Gotta take my hat off for a legend like Paolo. Left AC Milan after many seasons. Now he's in Spain. It's bonkers to see this. Ferrer, Ambrosini, Rule Fox is a Real Madrid legend. I tell ya, he's played a lot. He's played a hell of a lot. Not capped that much by England. Still going around, Rule Fox is. David Ginola, 37. Incredible career. Played at Gladbach. And then Real Madrid for season after season. Where Barcelona were dominating the show. Now Champions League. Still called European Cup in this universe. Who's taken it? Who's controlled this one? 10 years back. Everton winning back-to-back, then Bayern and Everton. So it's Barca. Bayern, Barca, Bayern, Barca, Bayern, United, Everton, AC Milan. How about that Bayern-Barcelona run? They had an incredible team last time. We checked, didn't they? Zambrota. Regions galore, people. This is what makes a save on this database long term. Because these regions comes in. The world looks like we know it a little bit. As, the player names at least. Rivaldo, Roy Mackay, Klose. Bayern München. Picked him up early. He's 26 years old now. Diego Milito, Diego Forlan, and Batigol. 35 years old, the Argentinian is. Yes. He destroyed everything at Everton. Won a couple of titles before moving to Germany and smashing in goal after goal. What a legend. What a legend. Happy to see him around still. So Everton, United, Bayern. Yeah. UEFA Cup. UEFA Plus P. TOP. UEFA Cup. Liverpool won something. They won the UEFA Cup a couple of times. Juve, Napoli, Tottenham, Liverpool, Villa, Milan, Tottenham, Southampton. Good job, Southampton. We are in 2004, 18 seasons into the 86 database. Tottenham, Hotspur, Gil Vicente, Verona, City. Kaiserslautern, Verona, Southampton, Coventry, City, and Tottenham. Righty then. Right, national teams. European Championships. Germany, Italy, France, Germany, France. Yeah, France coming into them all, though. They got Henry, they got Zidane now. Cortez, obviously. Strong team they are. How about the World Cup? All right. England and Brazil. Brazil won back-to-back World Cups. Italy won the most recent. Now, where is Ronaldo? R9. There's Ronaldinho. That's not the Ronaldo, right? Oh, yes, it is. That's R9. Yes, it is. Ronaldo Luis Nazario de Lima. I'm shocked. Horrible career for the Brazilian. When we know what he can turn into. Oh my lord. How about Ronaldinho? Spurs, 24 years old. Right, he must still be able to become something, not capped by Brazil at all. Ballon d'Or winners. This one I've been looking forward to. Ballon d'Or winners. So Shearer won it last time we checked, and he won it 3 years in a row. Big Alan. 3 years in a row. That's incredible. Then Redondo. Central midfielder. I love that. Sola. He's a huge gem on this database. He starts out at Torres in the Italian Serie C or D. You can pick him up for a couple of 100,000 in the first season. Second season, maybe. Juventus picked him up, let him leave for Torino, and Liverpool legend Gianfranco Sola won a Ballon d'Or. Shearer took it back a couple of years later. Then Rivaldo, Shearer again, Rivaldo 2 years in a row, and Luis Figo. Craziness. Absolute craziness. Who's the most expensive player in the world by now? Here we have them most expensive players in the world at this point of time. 2004. Scholes it is. Thierry Henry. The random region. Crespo. Yoshenko. Savio. Almeida. Sol Campbell. Walter Samuel at Sampdoria. Vitor. Nesta and Cannavaro. Seems like Fabio stayed with Napoli all the way through. He's 30 now. Wow, he looks incredible. Many of these regions I would like to go and sign, that's for sure, on a save like this. Juninho Pernambucano. Boy Mackay. Gaisca Mendieta. Alright, who's the young hot prospects right now? There we go. Andres, 20 years old. Don't look fantastic. Here's a wonder kid though. Philip Lahm. It's at Everton. Wonder kid as well. Fernando El Nino. Atletico de Madrid. Another wonder kid. Gilardino. Piacenza to Fiorentina. Do I dare check my favorite club in the world? Parma, that is. Pazzini. 19 years old. Recently spawned in. So I'm a huge Parma fan for you guys who don't know it. And we do start out in the Italian Serie B on this database. Wayne Rooney, 18. Everton sold him early for Aston Villa, 8.75. 18, he's going to become a wonder kid. He can still become a world beater. What a snipe. What a snipe from Aston Villa, that is. But as I said, Parma, we're starting in the Serie B on this database. Oh, I just seen the name. Cristiano Ronaldo. Born in a handful of seasons ago. 19 years old. Do not look fantastic. Can he still be salvaged? If you promote this guy to the first team and give him some playing time, 19 years old, feel like we are a long way from his potential ability. It's too early for Messi, right? Lionel Messi, Barca, under 19s, 17 years old. Don't look fantastic either. They gotta get some playing time. It's sad and it's weird to see that these players not being used by the AI managers as they should, because I know on this region mod these players are world-class potential-wise. Alright, I gotta check my favorite team in the world. Starting out in the Serie B, we are still in the Serie B. Have we been there all the time, or have we been in the Serie A at any point of time? We've been in the Serie C and in the Serie B. I gotta get on a rescue mission. I gotta save my beloved Parma. This hurts to see. This definitely hurts to see. Place my cap when I need it. Support Parma all the way, even though we only been playing in the Serie B and in the Serie C. Alright, it's time for the next simulation. 10 years into the future now, up till 2014. What do you think Messi and Cristiano will develop into? Now you've seen the profiles at a very young age. A little bit underwhelming. Do any of them have a chance to reach their full potential or get close to it at least? Let's sim. So as we land in the year 2014, we've been traveling from 1986 up till this point, 28 seasons into the 86-87 database. That is more than I usually play on my saves. We start out by checking out the World Cup champions, back-to-back winners in the recent years, the Netherlands. Before that, Italy won 2 years in a row, and then Brazil won 2 years in a row. We gotta take a quick look at the Netherlands squad, see if there's any familiar names. Obviously there is. Stekelenburg is 31 years old at this point. John Hytenga, he's 30. Robin van Persie, 30 years old, came in as a regen at Feyenoord, moved to Barcelona, and then the blockbuster move to Benfica, where he's having his glory days. And probably a handful of normal regions, if you can call it that, that's doing well for the Netherlands squad. While we're here, international teams, how about the European Championship? Italy, England, France, Germany, France have won in recent years. Quick look at the domestic leagues. England, Arsenal won 3 years in a row. Where did that come from? Everton got one 4 years ago. United 2 years in a row. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in a row, Everton. They were previously on a 7-year winning run. So Everton are still in the mix. So is United, it looks like. But Arsenal came out of nowhere. They have been in the top 4, as we've seen. Now, triple winners. Gabriel Paletta, part of that team. Gael Clichy. Fabian Monson, anyone remember him from Football Manager games? Jack Wilshere, 22 years old. Very new region on here. Been out on loan last season. Looks quite interesting. Pablo Aimar, 34 years old. River Plate, Liverpool, Aston Villa, then Arsenal. Oh, I loved Aimar back in the day. Nihat Kaveci, Craig Bellamy, and Kaká. Yes, it's that Kaká, obviously. Sao Paulo, Arsenal, what a legend he's turned into, as we know him. Not capped enough by Brazil, in my opinion, but who knows what's been going on in this crazy universe. Who's winning in Italy over the last 10 seasons? Juventus, Milan twice, Sampdoria, Milan twice. Quite interesting. As we started out on the 86 database, imagine if Paolo Maldini is still here, by the way. But yeah, as we started on the 86 database, Milan were a team building for the future, kind of getting into the championship race a little bit. Now it looks like they are dominating. Milan have become a powerhouse by this point. Rio is still there. He's 35 years old. He's become a proper AC Milan legend. 107 caps for the England national team as well to go with it. Cesc Fabregas, 27. Arsenal went to Milan for 163 mil. 27 years old. World-class midfielder. Coming in with the regions. Incredible. Schweinsteiger. Ronaldinho. Judging from the names, yeah, this is a hell of a Milan team, isn't it? Look at Thierry Henry's career over there. And Mario Balotelli ended up at AC Milan instead of Inter. 23 years old. All right, we got to take a look at the two ones. Let's start out with Cristiano Ronaldo. Bayern München. First sign is that he's been doing better than I expected when he was 19, 10 years ago. Let's take a look at him. All right, he actually made it. He looks incredible. Not done as well as in real life for the national team. I am aware of that. Look at this. Southampton. He went to Southampton, who spent some of those Alan Shearer money to bring in Cristiano Ronaldo before letting him go to Bayern for 216 mil. The biggest transfer fee we have seen so far in this simulation. Elite winger. Lefty. That's a little bit strange, but who cares? He actually made it. I was very much in doubt of Cristiano, to be honest, when we saw him 10 years ago. So Messi, I had higher hopes for Messi, even though he didn't look fantastic. Anderlecht. Anderlecht is a good team in 1986, to be fair. Very good European squad. 27 years old. This is not the Messi we know. This is not the Messi we know at all. Barca Athletic. Barca. He'd never play much for Barca. So Anderlecht scooped him up, and he's nothing. He's nothing. This makes me want to cry a little bit. But at least one out of these two players made it. I was afraid that both didn't have a chance. None of them won the Ballon d'Or, that's for sure. So let's see who's won it. We don't know the latest two, but El Niño Torres for Man United, Henry, David Villa, Ronaldinho, Crespo for Roma. Get out of here. Mavafangulo, Parma, Forza Parma. Christian Vieri, Luis Figo. Random region, the dog agrees. Luis Figo. Yes, the dog barks away. And Rivaldo and Shearer, that era, 10 years ago. So as we can see, we get a mix now of random regions still and in real life regions. Let's just take a quick look at the most expensive players at this point of time. Spain seems to be doing quite well. Iniesta, Torres, Fabregas. All well-known names. There is Cristiano. Gareth Bale, Tottenham, 24 years old. There we go, Bale. There we go, Gareth. What a season. The Welshman looks really good on this one. Cavani, Werder Bremen, Falcao at United, Alvaro Vidal. How has Wayne Rooney's career turned out? He looks fantastic, doesn't he? He's in Germany. He's been around. Bayern picked him up. Went to Luton on loan. Then Real Madrid on loan. Then Werder Bremen picked him up. A weird career trajectory, but damn, he looks fantastic. He's 28. His career is far from over. Alright, that is incredible to see. Luka Modric already made it to Real Madrid, just like in real life. A little earlier than in real life, I expect. Modric looks awesome. Lucas Leiva, David Villa. As you see, these regions keep spawning into this database with Mr. Tini's region mod. Absolutely incredible work. Love to see it. Vincent Kompany at Bayern, 28 years old. Looks solid. He is described as an elite. Hugh Walcott, 25 years old. Incredible. There is Sergio Aguero. Man United seems to have a good team, don't they? Not Man City, Man United. For Sergio Kun Aguero. Alright, I could keep around for hours checking out these regions and how the world looked like at this point of time. 28 years into the 86 database. But this video is already longer than I expected it to be, so let's do the very last simulation, the last 10 years to bring us up to 2024. Time machine, take it away. We made it. We finally made it. 38 years into the future on the 1986 database. It somehow feels like Back to the Future. We started in 2025, going back to 1986, now back to 2024. It's all bonkers, but here we are. I'm speaking. It's been night outside. It's been day outside. It's been everything. Long simulation. To you guys, or to you, one person who's held on for the entire ride of this video. Appreciate you, pal. You are freaking pal. All right, last check, people. Let's get this in the bag. I've never been this far into one of my personal saves. Let me just tell you that quickly. Ballon d'Or winners. I do suspect that there'll be a lot of names that we're not familiar with. Stefan Eiser, Dominic... Yeah, random regions are starting to win the Ballon d'Or. But Gareth Bale won like 5 seasons ago. Any other familiar names? Cristiano, he made it. He finally won a Ballon d'Or award. When we looked at this lad at the age of 19 years old, I would never expect him to win stuff like this. Absolutely incredible, Ronaldo. Messi, on the other hand, tough career. He's completely gone, isn't he? Manager, unemployed, not very good. Like his football career. It's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. Somehow Liverpool actually picked him up at an old age. But yeah, he never made it. Never made it on this database. European Cup / Champions League. Barca won the most recent. Man United, Barca, Bayern, Man United are winning stuff. The Netherlands, they're doing very well on the international stage. And how about a look at the very most expensive players at this point of time in this universe? Bernardo Silva is in that list, playing for Roma. Benfica, out on loan at AGF for 1 season. Roma, he looks great. That's Bernardo Silva. Any other familiar names? We are 38 years in. Joshua Kimmich is rocking it out at Coventry. Incredible. Marcus Rashford at Southampton. Grealish. Quaradonna. It is incredible. We have simmed 38 years into the 1986 database, and there's still a lot of familiar names going around. And how about Coventry? Coventry with Erling Haaland and Joshua Kimmich. Quaradonna even. What's happened with Coventry? Haven't won anything. Everton United. Won City after the 3 years in a row from Arsenal. Coventry finished second last season. Love to see stuff like that. Erling Haaland. How about Mbappe? Kylian at Monaco. 25. Never left the club. 25. Not capped by the French national team. It is very interesting to see how some of these players get close to their full potential or not close to the full potential. Bukayo Saka, Arsenal, 22 years old. Damn, he looks incredible. So, you know, you could easily continue this save for year after year because the regions continue to come in the way up 35 years in time on the 1986 database. It is time to wrap this up now. We have traveled in time 38 years, started in the mid-80s with the good tunes they had back then, strolled past the 90s, early 2000s, 10s, to 2024. This has been fun. I won't hold you much longer. I just hope that you will have fun with this 1986 database. Do with it whatever you want, as long as you enjoy the ride back in time. Thank you for being here today, guys. I will see you soon. Peace.